there's one behavior that creates more anxiety than any other behavior in the world. And that behavior is avoidance. And there's a very specific reason why this is and how it works. So anxiety is essentially perceived danger. And we know it's anxiety when the perceived danger is much higher than the real danger. So there needs to be a delta between perceived danger and real danger. And so essentially the mind is creating more danger than actually exists in the world realistically. Because if you were actually in danger and you were concerned about that, that would not be anxiety. That would just be, being like a logical, rational person. And so the reason that avoidance creates so much anxiety is because essentially the brain forms a hypothesis, right? It's like, hey, I think that there's danger out there. Like, I think that if I get on this stage and I deliver a speech, then everyone will laugh at me and, they'll find out that I'm an imposter and I'll be ostracized from society. So that's the hypothesis, right? The brain's like, that's your hypothesis. Get on stage, danger, ostracized from society. And so, essentially, by engaging in avoidance, you're proving the hypothesis. And so every time that you have some type of anxiety about something, if you engage in avoidance, the brain will essentially be able to be like, I was right. Like we're avoiding the stage, we're avoiding public speaking because we know that if we did it, we would end up in, a lot of hurt. Like something horrible would happen to us. And the only way to disprove the hypothesis is to actually do the activity and then see that, you did the public speaking, you delivered the speech, maybe it went really well, maybe it went okay, but, it didn't result in you being ostracized from society and everyone laughing at you, etc., right? Like you didn't essentially suffer some type of fate that was detrimental to your survival. And in essence, that's really the only way to get over our anxieties, is to actually just engage in the behavior so that we can disprove the hypothesis that the brain made when it created this perceived danger. And that's why avoidance is so detrimental to anxiety. And I know it's really difficult to not avoid things that you perceive as dangerous, but just think of it this way. Just think of it as this hypothesis model. And in essence, your brain's almost like this very anxious scientist where it's like, oh my gosh, there's danger everywhere. And you need to go around kind of disproving it to yourself. Be like, no, look, we have evidence. We gathered the evidence that this actually didn't result in danger. You're completely okay.